Welcome everybody once again to another episode of Scranton MMA Insider. I'm your host Jeff Reese. This week I'm joined by our head coach of Keystone CrossFit, Tim Muenkel. This week our question from Scranton MMA Insider at yahoo.com comes to us about CrossFit. Two-part question: what is CrossFit, and do I need to get in shape first? And I'm going to let Tim answer this.
All right, so to answer your first question, what is CrossFit? CrossFit is the preferred strength and conditioning program for many police academies, championship martial artists, and all types of elite athletes around the world. It's a broad, general, and all-inclusive strength and conditioning program. We specialize in not specializing. All the aspects of fitness are covered in each class: speed, strength, stamina, endurance, flexibility, coordination, etc., etc. The most important aspect of the training here at Keystone CrossFit is that it's designed to be scalable to any individual's fitness. And that's what brings us to our next most commonly asked question: do I need to get in shape first? The answer is absolutely no. CrossFit is designed to be scalable. No matter what shape you are in, no matter how you show up at the gym, I'm going to tailor the workout to your level of fitness. It's going to be extremely tough, but you're going to be able to complete it. And that's how we get the best results. The difference between training an elite athlete and training my grandmother is nothing. The methods of training are not different. We use the same exercises, we do the same workouts. The only difference is the intensity, the weight, how fast my grandmother's doing it compares to how fast, how heavy the elite athlete is doing. So to answer that question again, do you need to get in shape first? No, just show up and we'll take care of that.
Okay, so now here we are at the drill portion of our episode, and one of the most important things we can have as fighters is flexibility, and Tim's going to give us a drill here that's designed to increase and test our flexibility.
All right, so later on in the episode, we're going to get into how to squat properly. So what we're going to do right now is we're going to talk about a drill that everybody can do at home once a month, however many times you want to do it, and it's called the squat test. So all I'm going to do is I'm going to squat down, and I'm going to show you the proper position for this squat test, and you're going to see how long you can maintain it comfortably, and over time you're going to improve your squat position and your hip and knee and ankle flexibility so that when you go to squat and squat heavy, you do so safely. So all I'm going to do right now is I'm going to squat down, much like people do all around the world. In other countries, they don't sit on chairs very much. They squat like this for everything they do, eating, meetings, things like that, mostly in the third world. All I'm doing right now is I'm making sure that my head is up, my chest is up, I have a good flat back, as flat as possible, and I'm just trying to get comfortable down here. And if I can hold this for 2 minutes, 4 minutes, all the way up to 10 minutes, that'll be your gauge of how flexible you are in your hips and your knees and your ankles. Right now, what I'm focused on is a straightforward foot position. I want my knees torquing out to the sides while my feet remain straight forward. What I don't want to happen is this. I do not want my toes pointing out. I've lost the good squat position right now, and I'm going to increase the incidences of knee injuries at this position. So I want to keep my toes pointed straight forward. I want to keep my head up and my chest up. And I want to see, just check out how long you can do this for. If this is a position you can't even get into, then you definitely have some hip mobility and knee mobility problems that are going to impede you as a fighter, regardless of what type of martial art you do. But specifically judo, jiu-jitsu require a lot of hip flexibility. So work on this squat test, keep your feet pointed straight forward and your head up and your chest up just like this. Work yourselves up to 10 minutes.
Okay, so as always, we're going to close out with our technique portion of our episode. Right now the technique is obviously focusing on the squat. I'm going to hand it over to Tim. Tim's going to teach you guys how to squat properly.
All right, so we talked about the drill to increase the quality of your squat position. Now we're going to talk about the squat itself. Make sure you're doing it correctly, while you're just doing it with your body weight. It is the most foundational and probably most functional movement that you need to do properly and do safely for the rest of your life. It's also, once you introduce heavy weight to it, it's going to be one of the #1 exercises that you can create strength with. So we need to get it perfect, and you need to give yourself a long time. You need to give yourself 6 months to a year to even 18 months to get a perfect squat with just your body weight. So I'm going to go now real quick. I'm going to go through the most important points that you need to hit to keep your squat perfect and safe. First things first is my feet position. From looking straight forward, my feet are shoulder width apart, so maybe slightly more than shoulder width apart. The squat motion is begun with my hips, not with my knees. The most common flaw in most people's squat is they sink their knees straight down. This drags my heel up off the ground, and immediately now my knee is in front of my toe. I don't want my knees in front of my toes ever, and I don't want my heels coming off the ground. This is extremely dangerous for my knees and will lead to knee injuries. So again, from the front, my feet are shoulder width apart, my head is up, my chest is up, I have a nice tight core, and the first thing I'm gonna do is send my hips back and then down. My arms are gonna come up as a nice counterbalance, and I'm gonna sink all the way down. Remember that feet forward position from our squat test. I don't want my feet tracking out like this. If they start to do that, you're gonna run into some knee issues, and we'll talk about that when we get into more mobility. But as you can see right here, my knees are pressed out, my toes are down, my heels are down, and I'm not allowing my legs to collapse in like this. I want them pressed back, pressed out, my arms are up, and all of my weight is in my heels. My head is up, my chest is up, and when I drive up out of this squat, I hit the top, but I drove through my heels. Remember to hit full extension at the top. And in the bottom, what I didn't mention is the bottom of this position, the crease of my hip is below my knee. So I don't stop my squat here. I need to hit that bottom position. All the magic is, all the magic happens below the knee. All right, so make sure your butt and the crease of your hip pass below your knee. From the side, you'll get a view of my knee and my lumbar arch. So what I want to do is send my knee back, or send my hips back, keep my heels down. I don't want my knee passing in front of my toes. So I have a good head up, chest up position, a good lumbar arch, that's right back here. And crease of my hip is below my knee. What I don't want to see is this type of position. No good right here. You're gonna ruin your knees, you're gonna get patella tendonitis. So, that's about it. Keep your heels down, keep your toes pointed forward, and keep your knees pressed out.
Okay, once again, I want to thank everybody for joining us at Scranton MMA Insider. I want to thank Tim, our strength and conditioning guru, for joining us today and teaching us the proper way to squat and how to use that to increase our flexibility. We're going to see you guys in future episodes. Remember, send your questions to scrantonmmaainsider@yahoo.com.